Hey everyone, this is One Man Zerg with the UEN TV, and I'm giving you an awesome replay today between Axslav and Qxc. So we know Axslav is the green Protoss in the upper right, and Qxc is the purple Terran in the lower left. These are both of their races, their main races of course, and Qxc is well known for a lot of drops, a lot of harassment tactics, and he loves to use Marine Marauder. And medevac, so that's a big base of his play. And then Axslav is characterized by very creative play and a lot of varying armies, so he gets a lot of different units in his army, whereas some players stick to just a few. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very exciting game. I know I love watching Axslav, I know I love watching Qxc, and we can see both players playing a pretty defensive route right here. I have this sped up just a little bit, as this early part of the game can be a little bit slow. You can see their harvesters, as usual. Protoss is slightly ahead of the Terran player due to that chrono boost. And Axslav coming in here to scout Qxc, and he won't see anything too revealing. You know, just getting his orbital command right now, having a marine out of his barracks and forcing this probe to leave pretty soon. And then Qxc doing the same thing, going into Axslav's base with that SCV, just hanging out. Sometimes players harass like a pylon or something. It looks like Qxc is just playing around with that SCV. And Axslav going with the second gas. So we will see some tech on this map. It's a pretty big map, so I'd imagine that would happen. This is Blistering Sands. I think everyone knows this expo right here from a small choke from your main. Over here are the rocks, and this is a secondary entrance into your base if they break down the rocks. So a lot of players like to put a unit out here, or a pylon, or supply depot, and overlord. It's always recommended. Then you have your gold expos in the corners, which are guarded by some rocks, as well as this potential other third expo, but it's right next to a Zelnaga tower, and it's a lot harder to defend, especially when you start getting out here, because your main forces will defend here and here from the different sides. And still not a whole bunch of action. The SCV of Qxc sees those two stalkers just checking around, and then Axslav putting his pylons out here. Now, I've slowed it back down to normal speed. I would imagine these pylons are out here to watch for drops for Axslav, because Qxc is well known for doing a lot of drops, sometimes dropping here, and then bringing in a force in the main, really diverting your opponent's attention from a lot of areas. And then coming in with a Reaper. It's probably just a scouting Reaper. It's very late. It's 6.5 minutes into the game. You can see the timer over here too, as well as over here. And there you go, there's that pylon to scout, and here's the Reaper coming in. I'd imagine this Immortal or some Stalkers would take care of it, but it might be able to get a couple kills right now. So there's one, and then he does see what Axslav has in terms of this Robo, and he does get 3 kills, so very effective use of that Reaper. Gets 150 crystal worth for the cost of the Reaper, which you know is not very high, except in that gas. But if you can kill 3 probes, that's pretty good. And then Axslav over here with his observer. Axslav's very good about using his observers, placing them in the middle of the map or at key locations. I've seen a lot of games where he has multiple observers across the map in different places watching for expos, as well as probes doing their little patrol thing, as this probe is doing, sometimes between a couple expos like that, so that he can check if his opponent is expanding. And then Qxc just marching around, checking out. And here's Axslav's observer coming in the base. Sees that Qxc hasn't expanded yet, but that he is getting this. Does he see that right now? No, so he doesn't see the command center over there coming down, but he does see all of Qxc's production facilities, which means he's got to be ready for a fight. And he does have these Immortals, which are pretty good versus Marauders, but I think most players like to go with the Colossus as long as they can economically get to it. He's going to need that robotics facility, or robotics bay I should say, to get the Colossus out of the robotics facility. And then Axslav on his expansion, which will really come out about the same time Qxc's lands, probably just after it. And then Qxc hasn't warped it in anything. We'll see if Axslav spots this right now. So he does see that command center coming out, as well as Qxc moving out with his troops. So it's definitely going to be a macro game from here. We'll speed it up a little. Oh, and there goes Qxc taking out Axslav's observer, which is really not a bad trade for either player, I should say, because Axslav gains some potential minerals that Qxc would mine, and Qxc, you know, has no one checking out his troops anymore, so that's always a good thing too. And there's the Immortals that are just perfect counters to those Marauders over here. Able to kill them in 3 shots. Very effective. And then we can see on the income tab that both players are actually really equal. I'm surprised Axslav isn't higher in Harvesters right now, seeing as he does have that Chrono, and he's had the Nexus up about the same time. But either way, about the same. You can see Qxc going with a really low gas build here. That's something that's very interesting, that I see in a lot of high-level play. Ooh, that's gonna actually go down in the middle. Qxc is pushing out on Axslav. Axslav trying to push back on him, getting that shield up, but boosting the Immortal to get some excellent force fields down. Able to trap some troops over here as well as some up here. And then it looks like he's just gonna walk away from this one. Lets these couple stragglers survive, but both players decide, I don't think I'm in that advantageous of a position, so I won't push out. And very interesting too that Qxc doesn't have any medevacs right now. Let's see what kind of tech structures he has. He's just putting down his second refinery, and that's what's going to happen if you don't get that gas early, is you can't really tech for anything. And Marauders are so cheap at only 25 gas that you can really do a lot off of just one refinery. Just like Zerg can get a lot of roaches off of one extractor. It looks like Qxc might be doing a push out here right now. He's going up to these rocks, back rocks, and we see that Axslav does see this, not only with his pylon, but with this observer that has been tracking these troops the whole time. So Axslav moving some troops up here, and Qxc just getting this Marine in the back to do a little bit of harassment. It's very interesting that he just brought one troop in. Oh, and there's a fight over here. Axslav with some excellent force fields, traps some troops in there, and then he's going to have to go over here. And he knows that, and he sees it by the observer, but he also sees that Qxc is splitting his army potentially. And there Qxc sees that observer and knows, hey, I'm not going to be able to do anything tricky as long as that observer is watching me. So Axslav a little more in the dark right now. Not able to see it. He does have the stalker out here, but can't see that Qxc is splitting his troops right here. And I would expect Qxc tested the front with a Marine right there. He's going to go in this back with these troops right here, and then you can see Axslav's troops are coming up, but he's also going to bring these troops here. So what's he going to take out right now? Looks like he's trying to shoot down that Nexus, and at the same time has a fight going on over here. And he's stimming those troops, and he's able to push down the Nexus. That is huge for Qxc right now. He's going to force delay in a lot of the mining, and then he's also got good positioning over here with that force field. Actually, force field might have worked to his advantage right there. But Axslav is able to take out his army. So if we look at the units tab, Axslav didn't lose too many probes, but he is down by about 10 probes. And you can see that right there. But then in terms of army, Qxc is also higher. And that 10 differential right there is just those probes. So it's about the same for both players. And you can see this difference in resources just because some Protoss units are so expensive to get, like Immortals. Oh, wow, look at that. Excellent micro to keep this guy alive with only 9 life. And there that Marine goes down. Probably did nothing more than shield damage to all of these units. And Axslav desperately trying to recover right here, rebuilding this Nexus, but it looks like he's doing okay staying in line with Qxc, but Qxc does have a pretty significant advantage, and he's gone to 4 refineries now, so he is teching, and you can see a tech lab coming down on this factory, and a starport coming. I would expect with a tech lab, you're going to see maybe some tanks. It's not like to see Thors in this kind of matchup, so I would expect to see tanks, thinking that his opponent's going to get Colossus right here with this robotics bay. And you can see on the production tab he is getting that extended thermal lances. He is getting Colossus while rebuilding that Nexus. And I'm surprised Axslav's not taking out another base to try and recoup. We do see Qxc going in with another run in the back of his base here. Has those guys stimmed. Takes out that sight pylon. Stims again. He's just going to try and snipe something, I'm sure. So will he be able to take down the robotics bay before this extended thermal lance is finished?